Okay, we're back. Having technical difficulties here. Let me fix my light here. For some reason, that color, I just don't like that color at all. It's terrible. Oh, that's dim. Oh, there we go. There it is. All right. Now we're back. Just apologize for that. Real quick, I'm going to go back and change my my thumbnail for the live stream real quick. If I can find it. Copy that later, I guess. Okay. So let's get into this. Okay, so I'm going to start all over because lost it, got off my train of thought. I'm going to start all over. Okay, so we're going to talk about the election. As I said before, guys, feel free to drop any of the stuff that you guys have found, any information you guys have about the election, whether it be voter fraud, the current state of the election, just whatever you have. Feel free to drop in the chat. I'd really appreciate it. Give us something to talk about. And as I'm just going to go through and kind of give out the whole spiel of what's going on at the moment, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, feel free to drop anything in the chat, guys. Okay, so let's jump to the very beginning. Okay, so election night started out kind of shaky, actually, for the Republican side. Trump was having a hard time with Texas and Florida, which I've heard that most states, the way they count their ballots is a first come, first count. So whichever vote came in first will be the first ones that will get counted. And as you know, early voting took place. We had historic numbers in early voting numbers this year, which means a lot of Democrats tended to vote early. Which I'm not saying, just because I'm Republican, I'm not saying that. I'm going to try to put this in a particular way. Just because you're Democrat doesn't mean I can't get along with you. Doesn't mean that I don't respect you as a person. I do. If there was voter fraud going for President Trump, I would feel the exact same way about voter fraud. It doesn't matter what side this is going down on. Like I've said in my previous videos, it doesn't matter if mail-in ballots were coming 3 days after the election and they were all for Donald Trump. I don't think they should be counted either way. It just doesn't sit well with me. Like I said in one of my previous videos, the way real quick about the mail-in ballots. All these mail-in ballots that are coming in, it just amazes me how they tried to get it passed where they could count mail-in ballots a week after the election's over. How do you justify counting ballots 3 days after they were supposed to be there? It just amazes me how, as long as the mail-in ballots were dated the day of the election, they counted. That is complete and utter ridiculousness, just to be frank. So I don't think anything should have counted after Election Day. It's like I said, if a Trump supporter shows up in person to vote at the polling place, and it's after hours, let's say the poll closes at 6, he shows up at 8 o'clock to vote. Does he get the vote? No, they don't, because they're late. Get there on time and you can vote. That's fine. Get the ballot in there on time and you can vote. It's not a complicated situation. Have some responsibility, get there on time. That way you can get your vote in. It's not hard to do. So anyway, at the start of the election, Joe Biden was leading states that Trump was supposed to predictively lead in heavily. Texas, Florida. I mean, all these states that he was supposed to really be able to sweep through, he was having a hard time with. Like I said, it's a first come, first count in these states, and a lot of Democrats voted early, which meant that Biden obviously was leading early in these specific states. But as the night went on, and I stayed up, guys, I probably stayed up till I don't even know. So it's not letting you comment on there. You can't comment. I'm commenting on here. Did you type live chat? Huh? Hang on a second, guys. Oh, it's because you don't have the app. You don't have the app. I think you have to have the app to do this.
You better tell them that.
I think you have to have the app to comment. Yeah. If anyone is trying to comment the live chat, Lexi was trying to comment, but she doesn't have the YouTube app. I have the YouTube app. If you want to comment in the live chat, we have some comments a little bit. If you want to comment in the live chat and you guys want to have a conversation, you have to have the app to chat, I'm pretty sure. I see Isaac and Connor Vlogs, which are my little brothers. They commented in here. Mom, she's in the chat. I'm pretty sure you have to have, I think you have to have the app. Do you guys have the app? Was that how you were able to comment in here? If not, let me know. I'm not sure, but I think you have to have the YouTube app to be able to comment in the live chat. So if you're having a hard time getting your chat in, that's probably why. But going back to the election recap, so Trump's having a hard time in the beginning to secure these states he was supposed to just run the show in: Florida, Texas, Ohio, which states he ended up winning in the latter. But he was having a hard time with them. But as it went, he took hold of Texas, took hold of Florida, swept all the southern states, and up until yesterday, he was holding on to Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. Which here recently, this morning actually, Trump has lost control of Georgia and has lost control of Pennsylvania. Sorry, I have comments coming like crazy on the video I posted today. If you haven't watched my video I posted today, it's a CIA intelligence correspondent, and he is talking about this strategy Trump implemented on these ballots, these mail-in ballots, of where they have a specific radioactive watermark. This watermark cannot be duplicated, meaning if I hate to just point all this at Democrats, but I feel like that's exactly where the blame needs to go. But I'm trying to not just stick it to them, which they need it stuck to them, I feel like. But I'm trying to be unbiased. Kind of hard. But where these ballots cannot be duplicated. And so pretty much saying, you guys know on a $100 bill, the watermark that goes across the $100 bill. Okay, that's why it's so hard to counterfeit a $100 bill. You can't duplicate that watermark across the $100 bill. So with these ballots, it's extremely hard to duplicate the ballot and it be legitimate. So they said they're letting all these votes come in, all the mail-in ballots. That's why you've not seen Trump very much. You've not seen him hold press conferences very much. You've not seen him coming out and just going crazy on Twitter or in all these social medias. You've not seen that. And the reason being is because he stepped back and he's letting the Democrats, once again, trying not to be biased. It's what's going on. He's stepping back and letting these Democrats walk into his trap. He's going to drop the hammer on them. He's going to attack them. He's going to go, and I think he wants the entire world to be able to see what's going on, because he could have come out in the very beginning and he could have called them out on their bullcrap, and then everybody would have been like, Trump's just a sore loser. Trump, he's a conspiracy theorist. He's the president. He's always worried about somebody being behind his back with a knife drawn. Yeah, he should. I don't think a president has ever went through as much scrutiny and as much bias as he's went through. That's because he comes in, he lays down the law, he don't take nothing from nobody, and he's there for the people. In my opinion, is he a perfect person? No, I mean he's not anywhere close to being a perfect person. Nobody is, but I honestly think with everything in me, the Lord God sent him to us in a time of need, because I'm not saying it's perfect. God has used many people down through time that were not perfect people, and he used them to make a difference. I 100% everything in me believe God sent Donald Trump to us to be our president. That's my personal belief. You guys may not agree with that. That's just how I feel about it. And that's why he's faced so much scrutiny, because it's always hard doing the right thing, in my opinion. Okay, you got some chats coming in here. Boxing fan 101 says, "Who wants Trump out the most? Question mark. China. Is COVID a coincidence? I don't think so." I was telling somebody at work this today. You know what? I've not heard anything about the past 4 or 5 days. Coronavirus. I've not heard a word about it. You know why? I'm not saying there's not a virus. I'm just saying it was so highly publicized. Everybody talked about it. That's all you heard was COVID-19. It almost makes me want to throw up to say it, because I've heard it so many times. And yeah, it's not a real big coincidence that COVID-19 just happened to come right before election. What's the one thing that Joe Biden kept bringing up over and over and over in the debate? This man knew the virus was here. He knew it. He didn't let us know. Come on, man. If I hear Joe Biden say, "Come on, man," one more time, I'm going to lose it. I am going to absolutely lose it. The video I posted yesterday, I cracked myself up a little bit. Sometimes I do. I'm a pretty funny person. But yesterday, I said the CIA's only job, if Joe Biden gets elected, is to make sure that Joe Biden doesn't walk off the White House roof, because he's going to be wandering the halls of the White House just going, "Come on, man. Where am I at?" I mean, that's all he's going to be doing for the first 2 weeks in office. If he gets elected, he's going to be wandering the halls, wondering where he's at, or he's going to have a basement put into the White House. That way, he can go into the basement and hide for his 4-year term. That's my opinion. Another chat coming in. Every patriot likes Trump. He's international. It was to force mass postal voting. I refuse to believe Americans voted for a man with dementia. I'm in London, UK. See, I've also noticed this. All the videos and research I've been doing, there's been a lot of people commenting from other countries. Even people from other countries knows this is a load of bull hockey. There's no way that this was that close. There's absolutely no way it was that close. There's no way that a man who showed constant acts of dementia, constant acts of just being disassociated with reality. I mean, Joe Biden, you're making me nervous. Joe Biden could not get through a sentence without stumbling over his words. You can ask Lexi sometimes. Whenever I get excited, I stutter like 1965 Chevrolet on a cold morning, and it's like that's just me. It's been that way ever since I was a little kid. But Joe Biden can't. I mean, he cannot get through a sentence without. What? What are you talking about? Nobody understands what you're saying. That's beside the point. Okay, so thank you guys for the chats. I'll keep coming back to the chats as I'm going through, but let's get back to what I was talking about a minute ago. So the election's going on. Trump takes hold of all the states he's supposed to be taking. Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. He's being competitive in Minnesota. He even held Maine for a long time, which I kept talking to Mom and Dad and Lexi as we was watching the election. He held on to Maine for so long, which if you go by this electoral college map that you can find on the internet, he ended up losing Maine by, oh wow, that's not that many. He lost Maine by 80,000 votes, which is highly competitive for a Republican to be that competitive in Maine. I was really surprised with Maine. But yeah, he held on to Maine for so long. It was just so weird how long he held on to Maine. I'm like, look at that red state up there in the corner. Let's go, Maine. Hold on. Hold the line. But Maine, unfortunately, ended up dropping off. But let's talk about what's happened in the past 24 to 48 hours. Unfortunately, Trump lost control of Michigan. He lost control of Wisconsin. If I'm not mistaken, there has been lawsuits filed in both Michigan and Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure. Michigan is I think one of the main two lawsuits in Michigan, which I don't know if one of them is actually a lawsuit. The one is they weren't letting poll watchers stand, I think, 40 to 100 feet away from people going through ballots, which Mom sent me a video earlier just this evening, and it was literally of a counter of ballots, signing ballots and filling them in for Joe Biden. Literally, someone that's supposed to be counting the ballots, she stamps it, she fills it in. Joe Biden. Then she goes into the House, Democrat, Senate, Democrat. Okay, I'm going to try to stay on task. Okay, so there's a lawsuit for that in Michigan. And Michigan's also the state, if you've watched the news at all, at 3 o'clock in the morning on election night, Michigan said, we're done counting ballots. We're done counting. We're going to resume tomorrow morning. Okay, so we think it's over for the night. Then randomly, some guy in a white van rolls up with one of those little red wagons. You know those little red wagons whenever you was little? I'm not sure what the age span of everyone in the chat is or everyone in the live stream is. You know those little red wagons? I think they're called rider wagons. You know what I'm talking about? Little red rider wagons. Like the little red wagons you'd like pull around whenever you was like a little kid. I think they're called rider wagons. If you guys go in the chat, let me know if that's right or not. But this guy, there's a video, you can look it up, and the woman who filmed the video is a Trump attorney. It's legit. Gets the wagon out and gets these two big sacks. Looks like potato sacks, if you know what I'm talking about. And drops them down on flyer wagon, yeah. Drops them down onto the wagon and wheels them in the polling terminal. No one's there. For one thing, the door ain't locked. Why isn't the door locked to one of a swing state, a battleground state, one of the biggest, and this is in Detroit, Michigan, one of the biggest voting terminals in the country? Why is the door unlocked, for one thing, at 4 o'clock in the morning? Forget the voting. It's Detroit, Michigan. You can walk down the street and get shot if you look at somebody the wrong way. If Joe Biden was walking down Detroit, Michigan, he'd be like, come on, man, and he'd get shot, okay? Detroit is not a safe place to be. For one thing, the door is unlocked. This guy just rolls in, walks down the hall, and this Trump attorney's like, how is this happening right now? Like you can hear she's like talking really soft spoken, obviously, because she's filming this and she's trying to be secretive. This guy just rolls in, and coincidentally, Joe Biden gets 100,000 votes in a span of an hour. Because, I went to bed that night, and the day after the election, Trump was leading Michigan. I go to bed, I wake back up the next morning, go to work. He's losing Michigan by like 50 or 60,000 votes. I'm just like, what's going on? How is this even possible? I mean, where do these votes come from? For one thing, you said you were stopped counting for the night. Secondly, how does 100,000 votes come in and Trump doesn't get a single one? I'm not a mathematician or a statistician, if that's even a word, but I'm pretty sure that one side's not going to get 100,000 votes and the other side gets zero. You mean out of 100,000 people in a swing state, that's been pretty much split 50-50, Donald Trump isn't going to get one single vote? No, I don't think so. Okay, hopping back to the chat real quick. Okay, so yeah, the red wagons are called flyer wagons. I don't know why I couldn't put that together. Rider? I don't know why I was thinking rider wagons. So this we have a chat. Well, you can't make me believe that a guy that could barely get 15 people at a rally at times has gotten all these millions of votes. Now, come on, man. All in not italics, all in caps. Come on, man. I appreciate that. I don't think you have seen the video of just Joe Biden saying, come on, man. It's like, so whoever edited that video, props to you. That was awesome work. It's just Joe Biden saying, "Come on, man," for like 2 minutes. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. If you don't watch it, if you watch it, it'll make your day. I guarantee you that. But I totally agree. If you've ever seen Joe Biden rallies, they're pitiful. It looks like a funeral viewing. People there are there to mourn the dead, which pretty close to mourning the dead. I mean, barely holding on. But yeah, I don't understand how. And probably one of my favorite moments from the debate, the second debate, the first debate was terrible, absolutely terrible. I love President Trump, but that first debate, just calm down. Just calm down a little bit. You don't have to cut Joe Biden off for him to stumble over his words. You don't have to cut him off. Just let him speak. The man cannot get out 3 sentences, doesn't know what state he's in, and a lot of other things. Just let him talk. That first debate, like I said, I love President Trump. He's a very smart guy, but I understand why he was so heated. He has to face the media. He has to face the Democrats. He has to face all these people, and I'm sure it gets difficult to do. But like the second debate, if you noticed, he let Joe Biden speak. He didn't cut him off as much, and he said ridiculous things. I think one of the things he said was like half the country's population, half the country's population have been killed by gun violence since 2006. He said like hundreds of millions have been killed by gun violence since 2006. I'm just thinking, so there's been half the country's population killed by gun violence since 2006. He just said ridiculous stuff like that. Just let him talk. But in the second debate, I almost lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. Talking about the size of the rallies. The second debate, the moderator, I think Chris Wallace, bless his heart. I'd like Chris Wallace. He goes, so Vice President Biden, at your rallies, you've been having small crowds. I'm assuming that's because you've had respect for 6 feet apart guidelines and coronavirus protocol. And President Trump, you've had huge crowds, 40 and 50,000 people. I mean, what's the difference here? You know, President Trump, do you want to speak to Joe Biden's very small crowds? He's like, yeah, there's like 15 people there because nobody wants to be there. Would you want to be there at a Biden rally whenever he can't get out 3 sentences and he's just wearing the biggest mask that just covers his entire face? Would you want to be there? I wouldn't want to be there. And that was one of the funniest moments of the debates. He's like, yeah, he has 15 people because nobody wants to be there. He probably has to hire people to actually come. It's ridiculous. Okay, and second chat here says, besides, who would vote for a creep that sniffs people's hair? Those videos of Joe Biden just sniffing people are some of the strangest things I've ever seen in my life. He's so weird about it. He's just like leans in. He's like, and starts grinning real big. And it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you just sniffing people? Get away from me, freak. This guy says there's another video where they're transferring votes completely unsupervised. I've seen all kinds of videos. I have no words, honestly, for all the videos, and it's just so blatantly obvious. A lot of this fraud, and it's just like, how is no one talking about it? Okay, this one says Biden won't get 15 at his own funeral. I hate to say it, yes, but probably not. I mean, honestly, who's going to show up? And don't get me wrong. I try to have respect for Joe Biden as a person. He's a person like you or me. I hope he's saved by the grace of God. I don't want to see anyone go to hell. I'm just going to be blatantly honest. I hope Joe Biden's saved. I hope he knows Jesus Christ. But just some of the stuff he does, I have no respect for. I have respect for his soul, but and I hate just to keep making fun of him, but it's just hard. Okay. This guy's not even American. Are you talking about Joe Biden isn't even American, or are you talking about me? I'm American. I'm not sure who you're talking about. So Cherokee helicopters. The idiots who voted for Biden are are this: born stupid, raised stupid, and it's still stupid. I couldn't agree more. Probably one of the best comments so far. How would someone even vote for this idiot? Is absolutely stupid. That's what I said, guys. I commented on one of Donald Trump's YouTube videos, and it was a Joe Biden having all these gaffes and stuff. And I said $10 says Joe Biden votes for Donald Trump on accident. And that comment had like 10,000 likes. I mean, it was ridiculous how many likes it got. And I mean, honestly, I've just never saw a candidate of any kind in any stage of government. I've never seen anyone that is this far unattached from reality. I mean, I don't know what's going through this guy's head. It's just I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, I really don't, and I'm almost certain. I'm almost certain this guy has early stages of dementia. I mean, there is everybody talking about it. Even Joe Rogan. If you know who Joe Rogan is, I don't agree with a lot of stuff Joe Rogan stands for. He's talks pretty rough, but he's a very smart individual. I'll give him that. And even he, I'm pretty sure he voted for Trump. And he's like, this guy just shows early signs of dementia. And I mean, it's like he'll be halfway through a thought, the thought's gone. I mean, it's gone. I mean, it's knocked out of the ballpark. I mean, it's over the fence. It's like lost like a ball in high weeds. I mean, it's just gone. Got another comment from Kyle Hughes. What's up, Kyle? How's it going, man? Ain't seen you in a good minute. Trump will win. He has set this up for months. Trump won in a landslide. Dems tried to steal it, but it won't happen. Secondly, Kilby 2024. That's some good stuff right there. I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay, let me get back to the comment. Trump won a landslide. I've seen this. I've already seen the video I'm going to talk about here in a minute that the CIA correspondent shared. He said that once this is tallied up, that they predict Trump in a landslide because, like I said, those watermark ballots can't be duplicated. And just judging off the ones that have been counted by the correct ballots, it's Trump in a landslide. And real quick, before I forget, I wanted to bring this up a minute ago, talking about Georgia. Tell me this, okay? I'm just going to run through the statistics as they are on here, okay? And I've just got to have somebody's opinion on this. I just want to make a point real quick, so hang with me. Okay, let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about Trump's performance in southern states, okay? Let's start with Mississippi. Donald Trump, 59.7% of the vote. Joe Biden, 38.8% of the vote. Little over 200,000 vote difference. That is how much he won by Mississippi, okay? Dominated Mississippi. Alabama, 62.5% of the vote for Donald Trump. Joe Biden, 36.4% of the vote. Won Alabama by 800,000 votes. Dominated Alabama. Okay, let's skip over Georgia and go to South Carolina. South Carolina, 55.1% of the vote. Joe Biden, 43.5% of the vote. He won South Carolina by 300,000 votes. Florida, Donald Trump, 51.2% of the vote. Joe Biden, 47.9% of the vote. Won by 400,000 votes. Now let's hop over to Georgia and let's just see how these differ, okay? Georgia, Joe Biden, 49.4% of the vote. Donald Trump, 49.3% of the vote. Joe Biden right now, 2,456,845 votes. Donald Trump, 2,452,000 votes. Joe Biden has a 4,000 vote lead. How is it possible for someone to dominate every other southern state and then have such a swing in Georgia? Do you think Georgia people are really just more liberal than every other southern state? He dominated Tennessee, also dominated Kentucky. He's holding a lead still, even with all the corruption in North Carolina. How is Georgia so much different than in every other southern state? I've heard people say it's because of Atlanta. Atlanta's liberal, a lot of Democrats in Atlanta. I understand that, but Alabama has Democratic cities too. Montgomery, Birmingham, Mississippi has Jackson, Louisiana also. It has New Orleans, South Carolina. They have Columbia, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, liberal communities. Atlanta is not that much different than all these other. How does he lose Georgia whenever he dominated every other southern state? That doesn't make any sense to me. If anyone has any idea of why he lost Georgia, drop it in the chat. I would love to hear some opinions. Unless Atlanta, outweighs all these other southern cities by a huge population difference. That's the only thing I can put together for it. But yeah, Georgia is just absolutely. I'm just dumbfounded on Georgia. I really don't know. Okay, some more chats come in. Let's see. Some say Harris will take over. They'll declare Biden unfit for office and put Harris in. I've said this ever since Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris to be his running mate. I have said this. Joe Biden is a pawn. Hear me out. Joe Biden is a pawn in the Democratic Party's hands. Joe Biden will get elected because he's not just so bad that people are like, I don't want that guy. That guy's evil. But he's also far enough left where they want to use him. This might sound conspiracy, borderline. If Joe Biden gets in there, they're going to be like, all right, we got him in. Let's get him out. I don't know what means that will be by exactly yet. They might just say, this guy, he's a nut. Get him out. He's an absolute nut. Or it might be more extreme measures. People that have messed with people of that specific party have had some bad things happen to them kind of randomly. I'm not going to name any names. It might start with an E. If you know what I'm talking about, they just kind of die. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope he stays safe, but they're going to find a way to get Kamala Harris into the presidency. I'm afraid. And my goodness, guys, that's a scary thought. It really is. She's pretty much come out and said that she supports socialism. That's very, very scary. Which, like my dad said, I would kind of like for some of these celebrities to experience socialism. My dad made this point. I would love to see LeBron James make the same amount of money as the guy on the end of the bench, as the manager, as the guy that, whenever someone falls in the paint, Kyle, whenever someone falls in the paint and that little fella gets out there with that little mop, starts sweeping the floor. I would love to see LeBron James make the same amount of money as that little fella doing that right there. That's socialism. It doesn't matter. LeBron James, he's a really good basketball player. I cannot stand him, okay? But he's a really good basketball player. But LeBron James has worked his tail off to be a great basketball player for many, many years. Do you not think he deserves more money than the guy sweeping the floor? I do. I think if you work harder and you have aspirations to become something better, you should make more money. You should work for a goal, and then after you put the hard work in, you should cash in. Absolutely. I think NBA players are overpaid. I do. I agree that professional athletes are overpaid. But I think a professional athlete should probably make more than me because they've worked their tail off. There's a big market for professional athletes. People watch it. People buy their stuff, so they should make more money. They've worked hard. But also, I think I should make more money than someone who doesn't have a job. I do. I believe that with everything in me. I believe if I don't have a job and someone goes to work every day and they work their tail off, I think they should make more money than me because I'm not doing nothing. Venezuela is the absolute perfect example of socialism. Venezuela had an economy just like ours. You work, you get paid. It was a capitalistic state, a country. They hired a socialist leader. In Venezuela, they are literally eating dogs. They are starving to death. People are laying in the street. Look it up if you don't believe me. They're literally eating Fido. Fido is sitting on the kitchen table being prepared for dinner in Venezuela. Okay? That's what socialism looks like. The country absolutely implodes from within. Okay? I'm not trying to be mean, but they're eating dogs. They're eating cats. They're eating stuff that runs around in the streets. I'm not kidding, guys. It's sad. And socialism does not work. It doesn't. That's why I don't understand how anyone can vote Democrat knowing what that party pushes for. If you're a Democrat and you don't support socialism, I've got news for you. Your party does. Your party wants it. Whether you agree with it or not, your party wants socialism, and that's very, very scary. Okay. Let's get back to these chats. Pelosi's the devil. Joe Biden can't even put his socks on by himself. Sorry, I got cracked up thinking about Joe Biden putting on his socks. That was just really funny. I feel like he would like put his sock on, then like miss one toe, and then be like, "Come on, man, come on, sock, come on, sock, get on my foot." But yeah, that's a really funny thought. I think Joe Biden. Sorry, guys, my MacBook is running dead. We'll plug her up right here. I'm supposed to be taking my wife Dunkin' Donuts here in a minute. So if you magically see the computer screen just shut down and you hear a scream, that's because she shut me down and we went to Dunkin' Donuts for the night and I got cut off. So if that's what happens, you know where I am. Call the police. Okay? I didn't get a response. I'm kind of worried. Okay, so speaking back, Pelosi's the devil. Joe Biden can't put his socks on. Have you heard some of those things that old people have that help them put their socks on? I mean, it's just like a random little thing. My grandpa has one of those. He like puts his sock on this little plastic thing, and like it's like an extension for your sock. It's pretty cool actually. You like reach out and you slide it on your foot, and then like you get the sock around your toes and you pull it and it puts your sock on. It's actually kind of cool. If you guys haven't seen that, but whenever you said that, Cal, it kind of reminded me of my grandpa's little sock thing. This guy says more BLM in Georgia, more Black Lives Matter. Don't get me started on Black Lives Matter. Don't get me started on it. You okay? Okay, I thought I heard somebody fall. Someone go in the chat right now and let me know. Is it bad to say that I don't agree with Black Lives Matter? Is that racist? I mean, someone go in the chat and be honest. It's literally led by fascist people who Karl Marx is their idol. If you don't know who Karl Marx is, I'm not getting into that. Look him up. That's literally their leader. And if you go to the Black Lives Matter page and you look them up, there's very, very little information about actually helping the African American people. There's very little information about it. It's all about other things I'm not going to get into, but oh my gosh. I don't think the problem is the color of skin. I think it's about sin. It's a sin problem. If this country could get back to Jesus Christ and realize that it's not each other, it's Satan, it's the devil that's working in our lives, I think it'd be a whole lot better. I'm not getting into all that, but Democratic governor in Atlanta, question mark. I'm going to need a little bit more. I'm not sure what that's talking about there. Great mop guy point. Yeah. I don't know. It's just so exciting whenever like someone falls and there's like sweat there. I remember we all would like whenever someone fall, like someone's like really sweaty, would like fall on the floor. We all got our feet and just like kind of like put our feet in, you know. And but I wish in high school we had a little guy with like a broom that just come in there and just go all the sweat. That'd be awesome. Okay, you have another one. Yes, all lives matter. If people would treat others the way they want to be treated, the problem would be solved. Absolutely. I don't understand why we can't get back to that. People that say that there's no racism in America, I think there's a little bit. I don't think it's to the extent that everyone says there is. But I've never understood how people can like look at someone and automatically have an opinion of that person. You know nothing about them. You know nothing about them. You cannot look at a person and automatically judge their character, their values, their beliefs by one look. That's not how it works. You have to actually have a conversation and learn about who they are. You can't just look at someone and just objectify them as a person just by looking at them. It's just not the way it works, in my opinion. I've met amazing individuals that are a different color than I am. And I've met people the same color as me that are also great individuals. And I've met people of different colors than me that I don't get along with. And I've met people of my own color that I don't get along with either. It's not the color. It's not. All lives matter. Blue lives matter. Every single person in this world that has air in their lungs, it matters. Because as long as you still have air, you have hope. Once the breath's gone, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a chance. But once there's breath there, there's still opportunity to be saved. And that's just, I'm not trying to just push my beliefs on anybody. That's just my opinion. This guy says, it's the attitude. It is. It's honestly, if you walk into a situation and you already have your mind made up and you're not open-minded about it, which I've got to be careful how I put this. I don't think you should have an open mind toward everything, but this specific case, talking about skin color, you can't just walk into it already having your mind made up. You have to see people for who they are, not what they look like. I'm just leave it there. Okay, so getting back to what the live stream was supposed to be about, I'm sorry I go off on many tangents, and I apologize for that. For the ones that have stayed with me through the live stream, 40 minutes strong, I appreciate you guys. It means a lot, it really does. So let's look at the current state of the election right now, as it stands. I don't understand which I just looked up Electoral College. Okay, if you guys can see my phone. I've heard very many times they took Arizona back off the official Electoral College map, okay? It's not supposed to be counted for Biden just yet. As Arizona stands right now, Trump is behind 26 before 30,000 votes in Arizona. 49.7% versus 48.8% for Trump. He's behind less than 1% in Arizona. Trump still has a chance to win Arizona without any fraud being investigated. I mean, he has a chance. Nevada was another one Trump had an ability to overtake Biden in. Let's look at Nevada statistics here. So 632,000 votes for Joe Biden, 609,000 votes for Donald Trump. Joe Biden, 49.8% of the vote. Trump, 48% of the vote. So he's still behind. I'm sorry, guys. My math is really struggling tonight. 22,000 votes in Nevada. So, guys, he definitely still has an opportunity to catch up in those two states. He does. Let's look at the states real quick. Pennsylvania and Georgia, which Trump has lost his lead. So, Pennsylvania. He is currently losing by 22,000 votes in Pennsylvania. That is 0.3% of the vote in Pennsylvania, with 2% left to be reported. So it's not looking good for Pennsylvania as of right now, according to this Electoral College map I found online. North Carolina, Trump still held on to North Carolina. He's still leading by about 70,000 votes in North Carolina. And let's look at Georgia again. It just makes me mad if I even look at Georgia because of what I said earlier. Georgia really just I just curl my fist up and I look at Georgia because we were leading by like 200,000 votes on election night. Joe Biden has a 4% lead, or not a 4% lead, my goodness. A 4,000 vote lead in Georgia with, it says 99% reported, which I don't believe that at all. So, guys, as of right now, it's 264 to 214. Oh, I almost forgot. What is going on with Alaska? Can someone please tell me what the heck is going on with Alaska? Alaska is still right now sitting at 50% reported. It's been 4 days since election. Why is Alaska still? How are votes not in Alaska? I mean, are these guys just like running around with sled dogs? I mean, just jumping mountains. They can't come vote. They can't put their vote in. What's going on with Alaska? These Eskimos have got to get to the polls. Okay, I'm joking. Donald Trump, he has a 30% lead in Alaska. It's 118,000 to 63,000. What is going on with Alaska? I mean, like I've just been kept checking Alaska. I'm just like, they've got to add it tomorrow. They've got to confirm it. They don't confirm it the next day. Man, I hope Alaska come in. It's only a 3 electoral votes. It just looks better for it to be lit up red. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm to the point where I just want to see Alaska be filled in with red. Okay, but Alaska, I don't know what's going on with Alaska. I mean, Trump's going to win Alaska. They will not confirm it for whatever reason. But as right now, the map does not look good. It's still sitting at 264 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 214 electoral votes for Donald Trump. So, yeah, if this continues to play out and none of these lawsuits go into effect and none of this voter fraud comes to light, which I'm sure it will, but if it didn't, Joe Biden is six electoral votes away from being proclaimed to be the president-elect. And that's very scary. That's very scary words to say. I've seen, there's been some people at work been talking. They're like, if he gets elected, it ain't going to change that much. It's going to be okay. It's going to be, I know we have the majority in the House still, but Joe Biden is president and Kamala Harris as vice president and Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker of the House. Nancy Pelosi can come on TV and I just see her and it just makes that lip go like right there. I mean, it just irks me to even see her. I hate to be that way, but my goodness, Nancy Pelosi just burns me up. Okay, let's get to some more chats here. Okay, so also the same people who say defund the police are the first people to call over the smallest things. So many of y'all's chats, I have said the same exact thing so many times. Who are these snowflakes going to call whenever they spill their pumpkin spice latte all over their Louis Vuitton shoes? If that's even it. Does Louis Vuitton make shoes? They do. Who are these snowflakes going to call whenever someone knocks over their pumpkin spice latte with extra whip and pumpkin sprinkles? Who are they going to call whenever someone knocks them on their Louis Vuitton shoes? Who are they going to call? Huh? If there's no police, who are you going to call whenever something happens to you? I'm going to tell you something right now. If you try to take away guns and you try to defund the police, only bad people will have them. Have you ever thought about that? If it's against the law to have guns and you take them away, which good luck trying, is all I got to say. Because have you ever seen a redneck with a gun? It's quite dangerous, in my opinion. I wouldn't try that if I were anyone trying to do that. But if you make it illegal to own a gun, only bad people will have them. Do you think a law saying you cannot own a gun will keep criminals from having one? That will not keep them from having one. They're criminals for a reason. They don't obey the law. It's what they do. So whenever you take them away, the good people will have no way to defend you. Pumpkin spice drinkers from Starbucks that wears Louis Vuitton, good night. Starbucks is just something else. Some of you guys might like Starbucks. I avoid it like the plague. I call it liberal town. That's what I call it. Do I not? They got liberal juice. That's what I call it. Go to Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Starbucks. If I have to, I'll go. If my one wants to go to Starbucks, we'll go. But good grief, Starbucks. Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get these chats. Democrats want everyone in a racial box. It's the same as the left elsewhere. In the world, they want to segregate people, not bring them together. Boxing fan, are you really from England? I mean, seriously, are you really? I had one guy come in a live stream one time. He said he was from Denmark, and I had a hard time believing that somebody was watching my live stream in the mountains of Tennessee from Denmark. It was just so bizarre to me. So if you are actually from England, give me an A or something like that. You guys say that in England, mate? Is that what do they say in England? They say cheerio in England. Cheerio, governor, sip of tea. It's something like that, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tea. You guys drink tea in England? That may be. I'm not trying to stereotype at all, but I'm just pretty sure that you guys drink tea in England in the movies anyway. I'm pretty sure. So, but boxing fan, if you're actually from England, go in the chat and type tea. That way I'll know. Because if you are, that's pretty daggum cool. How did you find the live stream? How did you find my live stream? I'm curious. But yeah, as you were saying, Democrats want to put everybody in a racial box. There's someone I watch a lot on YouTube. His name's Officer Tatum, and he's an African American gentleman, and he's all the time saying that Democrats tried to make him a victim, and he doesn't want to be a victim. He doesn't need the Democrats to defend him as an African American man because he's a strong man. He can take care of himself. And the more the Democrats push this racism, he doesn't need that because he can stand up for himself. He doesn't need the Democrats' help to stand up for him as a man. And I totally agree with that. They try to act like they're standing up for these people whenever really they're just trying to divide us in half and try to bring that group of people to their side like they're defending them. They don't need it. They're strong people. Okay. Let's see what happens with it all. And remember, this is a battle that wars. This is a battle. The war's yet to come. Absolutely, guys. I think it's high time, and I'm not just saying this as a Republican or from a Republican standpoint. I hate really to label myself as a Republican. I just know what I stand for, and it seems like Republican follows more along the lines of what I stand for. That's what I'm saying. And I think it's high time that we've stopped being pushed around as people. You know what I'm saying? Like the good people of the country, the Republican people have never really just stood up and said, "We ain't taking this no more." We've always kind of got walked over. And I told a guy today this at work, you can have the nicest dog. Just the nicest dog. He's a good old boy. You know, he comes whenever you holler for him. You can just pet him, waller all over the place with him. You know, he'll take naps with you. But you can take that same dog and you can back him in a corner. You know, and this dog could be your best friend. You know what I'm saying? He could be Air Bud, you know. But you back that dog in a cage, you back that dog in a corner and you start beating on that dog's going to bite you. It doesn't matter how good of a dog he is, how peaceful of a dog he is, that dog's going to bite. And that's what they've done to the Republican people, the good people, the conservatives. They backed us in a corner and they've been whooping on us, and we're about to bite. I mean, it's getting absolutely ridiculous of how we've been treated as people. They've tried to push their progressive nonsense on us and try to put it down our throat. And it's high time we stand up and say, enough's enough. Okay. Let's see here. What was up with the Fox News giving Arizona so early? I don't know. Fox News has been so strange here lately. Like I saw a video of a bunch of people standing outside of Fox News. I think it's at Fox News headquarters and screaming, "Traitors, traitors!" And it's almost like Fox News is going a little bit left. I hate to say it, but for some reason, Fox News called Arizona so early. I mean, it's just like, why? You know, out of all the mainstream medias, I thought Fox News was supposed to be a little bit more to our side. But, it turns out that Fox News has been maybe they're getting close to being just as liberal as CNN, which CNN's off the daggum rockers. CNN is someone go in the chat and let me know what's the white-headed guy from CNN. You know what his name is? The white-headed fella looks like Jack Frost from CNN. It burns me up to even see him come on TV. Oh my goodness! It's one of them fit. You ever seen the meme of Arthur with his fist clenched? That's me whenever I say that white-headed fella. Anderson Cooper. That's his name. Oh my! I hate to see Anderson. I hate to be that way, but Anderson Cooper just makes my blood boil. I wish somebody put him in a life-size slingshot and send him halfway across the country. I mean, good night. He burns me up. Gosh, Anderson Cooper. My goodness, that's a mouthful. That's a bad word in my house. We ain't saying Anderson Cooper in this house no more. Okay. Huh? I said we're not saying Anderson Cooper in this house. That's a bad word. Do not say that. It's bad. I'm telling you. You get one warning. Nah, that's it. I'm just kidding. Chris Teigen has screamed defund the police for months now, but was at her husband's concert with police, escort, and security. Just another example of these people. They say defund the police, defund the police. We don't need the police because we're better off without them. Police brutality is just ridiculous, and we don't need any more police brutalities. We should defund the police. It's ridiculous. But whenever they go to an event and they are afraid that us crazy conservatives are going to attack somebody, which I don't think they're afraid of us. I don't think these people that are screaming defund the police are actually afraid of the conservatives. They're afraid of the whack job leftist liberals. That's who they're afraid of. They're afraid somebody's going to come behind them and hit them in the head with something. But they're always the first one to want a police escort, to have armed guards. It's complete. I'm drawing blanks all day. What am I trying to think of? It'll come to me in a minute. Okay, so this guy, he just said Trump. Trump. I'm out there with you, buddy. Trump won Georgia. Go see it on Google. I'm not sure what this electoral map is even from. It's the first one that pops up whenever you type in electoral college map. It's probably CNN. I'd say Anderson Cooper made this electoral map himself just to sabotage me, Anderson Cooper. I'm saying bad words in my own home. But it still has Georgia. I don't understand why it has Georgia filled in on this one. So, Nos Gaming, I'll take your word for it. He won Georgia. Good to hear. I'm a Republican, but I'm an American first. Absolutely, guys. I always say I'm a Christian, then I'm an American, then I'm a Republican. In that order. I'm a Clark Range Buffalo fourth for life, and maybe a Tennessee Volunteer. I'll put that. It's a close fourth for Clark Range Buffalo / Tennessee Volunteer. They're right there in fourth place. So let's see. He won Pennsylvania too. It's not showing it on mine. I promise, man. Whenever I type it, it has Pennsylvania and Georgia in blue. See? Right here. Fucking good night. That's so weird looking. That's Georgia. That's Pennsylvania. It still has them in blue. I must be on the wrong one here. Okay, so let's see. It's a sad day when the most accurate news you get is from Twitter and TikTok. Well, at least what they don't instantly block. Big Tech is for an absolutely different video. Big Tech is, whenever I say Zuckerberg, and I can't remember let me see. I watched the entire video of Ted Cruz absolutely dismantling the creator of Twitter. I can't remember what his name was. Let's see. Twitter. What's that guy's name? It's just going to kill me if I don't think what this guy's name is. Is it Jack Dorsey? Isn't that the creator of Twitter? I'm pretty sure he was the guy that was on there. Yes. Jack Dorsey. Zuckerberg, all these big tech gods, they call themselves. How are you going to tell people they don't have the right to share their beliefs, no matter what it is? No matter what it is, religious beliefs, political beliefs. If you're going to monitor and you're going to block it, don't do it so one-sided. Literally, Someone could go on there and they can make a post on Twitter and say, President Trump is terrible. Someone's probably going to screen record this and try to play it back like I'm talking about Donald Trump. I'm not. So if you guys see that, please defend me. Someone could go on Twitter and say Donald Trump is the worst president the United States has ever seen. They need to, he needs to be out of office. He's a racist. He's XYZ, whatever you want to say. Nothing happens. It stays on there. It gets shared 40,000 times. Celebrities can call out Donald Trump on social media. Nothing ever happens. But some guy with 3 followers on Instagram can make a post and say, I love my president. I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus Christ died for everyone's sins. Blocked. This interferes with our community guidelines. We had to block your post because it interfered with our policy guidelines. Big tech is absolutely killing freedom of speech. It's killing the people's ability to post what they want to post. And it's all one-sided. If you're going to monitor everybody, monitor them equally on both sides. Don't just go and kill one side's viewpoints and then let the other one run free. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Andrew Scooper, your old buddy's here. Trump is still holding strong, still having hope. Ethan, old buddy, I'm glad to see you in the chat. If you guys haven't seen my video of us singing Holding Up This Ladder, we did a cover with Ethan and his brother Kyle, and that's on the channel. If you guys want to look that up, you can find it. They're real good musicians, and yeah, they're some really good boys, but I like them a whole lot. We got Mr. Blake in the chat as well. Landon Billy 2032 after Kilby 2024. How do you feel about me and Billy running for president/vice president in 2032? How do you feel about that?
I sure hope that you're the president.
I'm the one calling the shots. Son, old Bill would be like, nuclear codes here. See, what's that one country I couldn't ever spell in 3rd grade? What was that country? Czechoslovakia. I couldn't stand that country. It's just the nuclear. I don't even want to try to spell that no more. Nuke. That'd be something Billy would do. He'd be like, Czechoslovakia. I don't much care for them boys. Nuke them.
He thinks we live in South America.
Yeah, that's
what country he's fighting for.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna tell you it's a funny one on Billy real quick. Yeah, I'm going to apologize to Billy. Some of you might already heard this. We talk about it all the time. We was doing this. I think we just asked him, Bill, do we live in North America or South America? He said,
trivia questions.
Oh, yeah, it was trivia questions. Yeah, it was like trivia questions online. And it was, do you live in North America or South America? And he said, South America, buddy. We live down south in South America. I said, you realize North America and South America are 2 different countries, right? And he's like, oh, well, I know that. I got confused on that question. But I will never let him live that down. He thinks we live in South America. So Biddy has got his little maracas and he's doing his little dance. Candace Owens. Someone says, Candace Owens has called out Zuckerberg and filed a lawsuit. I saw this today. I actually saw a guy doing a video about Candace Owens and Mark Zuckerberg in the lawsuit. I think she's suing him because I'm pretty sure a lot of her posts are being taken down all the time. And that's why she filed the lawsuit for that, because she was basically being shut up because all of her posts, all of her tweets, all of her posts were being taken down by Facebook, I'm pretty sure.
Anything Republican.
Yeah, pretty much anything with a Republican / conservative. Yeah, it's all censored. It's all watched. I honestly think they have people literally just watching. I think they literally have people just watching conservative people and be like, did they post anything yet? And they do. You better block them.
Even with the debate on whenever Trump and Biden had the debate about the earpiece.
Yeah,
like that,
yes.
On our
yes. Like you guys see in the second, was it? No, yeah. It was first president's debate, wasn't it? This is in the first debate. Will you bring me a document, please? My throat's getting really scratchy. Thank you so much, Anderson Cooper. Getting me at Anderson Cooper, Diet Mountain Dew. Anderson Cooper. I'm just
I'm gonna
kidding.
get you for abuse.
I know. I'm sorry. I love you so much. The first presidential debate. If you guys saw that. Cheers. I'm not sponsored by Diet Mountain Dew, but I probably should be. I really probably should be. The first presidential debate, literally, there was a wire coming from Joe Biden's ear, his crusty, scaly ear, going down into his shirt. It was, you could clearly see it. And people was posting on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have any social media. But Lacey put it on Facebook, I think, and it got taken down. You couldn't find that picture anywhere. It got completely wiped off the map. Big tech, they don't want people, they say it's fiddling, which that's the country term of what they say. It's fiddling with politics. It's fiddling with the election. You can't fiddle with the election. But at the same time, they could say Donald Trump was being given answers, and he's terrible, and nothing would happen. Nothing would be said or done about any post saying that. That just shows how one-sided it is. Let's see. So what happens if they call it for Biden, in your opinion? I had 4 or 5 guys at work today asking about this because I was talking about it. If they call it for Biden prematurely, I don't think anything will happen, to be honest. Because this light is about to blind me. Good grief. Sorry, guys. I'm having technical difficulties. Like, every once in a while, I'll be talking. I'll look in this light, and I partially go blind for 10 seconds. I'm just like, where's the screen? But if they call it for Biden, I honestly don't think a whole lot will happen because there's so much going on right now. I don't think they will call it for Biden in the first place, which honestly, I wouldn't put it past them, though. I hate to say that. I wouldn't put it past them, but honestly, if they call it for him, I think that the American people aren't going to believe it. Which, something else I want to say real quick. This election has completely destroyed the integrity of our election process. From now on, I don't think anybody's ever going to believe an election outcome. I really don't, because this election just showed how much fraud and how much lack of integrity we actually have within our voting process. There is cheating coming from everywhere. I don't think anyone that will ever believe our voting process is legitimate anymore. But honestly, I think if they call it for Biden, I think, your CNNs, your ABC, your NBC, your mainstream media platforms are going to call it. They're going to be like, Joe Biden has been declared as president-elect. If you have that Holt guy from NBC, what's his name? Lester Holt. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he's not too biased. At the same time, his voice is awesome. I love Lester Holt's voice. Welcome back to NBC. We're tallying the votes from Pennsylvania. He has the coolest voice.
Is that your man crush?
No, I have no man crushes. Anderson Cooper. But just speaking on male voices, that's pretty cool. Mike Rowe, his voice is awesome. He has his own podcast. It's called That's the Way I Heard It or something like that. And Mike, he's the guy that's on Dirty Jobs. His voice is so cool. But anyway, like NBC, ABC, all these mainstream medias will call the election for Biden. And then I think the same thing is going to be happening where people just keep calling them out. And I think they would eventually retract the whatever you want to call it, if the call for Biden. I think they'll retract it, and this process will just keep going on. And I think it's going to be weeks, guys. I really do. I think it's going to be weeks before they may come out and say that Biden's the president-elect and he's won the election. But I think it's going to be weeks before we have a definitive answer on what's happened, because there's just so much going on. There's lawsuits. There's just so much going on. Not to mention there's riots going on in Portland. There's riots going on right now because people think that Joe Biden isn't going to win. Fun fact, you don't see conservatives rioting at all. You don't see any Trump supporters rioting. I saw a very disturbing video the other day on Blaze TV of a Trump supporter getting hit in the head with a metal bat. Did you see that?
No,
There's literally a Trump supporter. He's walking down the sidewalk. And these thugs, which I'm going to call it like it is, they're thugs, come over there, started spitting on him, started hitting him. And that one right back and cracked him in the head with a bat. And, there was like 5 or 6 of them, and he took off running. He's a little bit kind of a scrawny feller. But I'll tell you what, if I could have got hold of that bat, nothing makes me more mad than hitting my head on something. I'm like 6'8". I hit my head on stuff my whole life. My grandma has a light fixture in her house. And I bet to this day, the screws in that light fixture are loose. They can't be, the thread has got to be almost tore through because I've hit my head on that thing so many times. That thing's probably hanging by the wiring because I've cracked my head on that daggum light fixture so many times. It's a real low ceiling. It's like a 6 foot. I'd say the light fixture probably hangs about 6'4", and my forehead has cracked that thing so many times. But speaking back to what I was talking about, they hit this poor old fella in the head with a metal bat. He took off running. It drives me crazy. Candace just joined Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire and moves to Tennessee. Candace Owen. Oh yeah. Ben Shapiro is now in Nashville. And Mom said that Candace Owens was moving from California. Isn't it amazing how all these people are in California? Ben Shapiro was in California. Candace Owens lived in California. Joe Rogan even lived in California. I think Joe Rogan moved to Texas. I think he moved to Houston or Dallas. I think. But Ben Shapiro moved to Nashville. Candace Owens moved to Nashville. People are there's a big exodus from California. Everyone is fleeing California because it stinks. California, is like it'll gag you. It'll gag a gnat off a meat wagon. It really would. That's how bad it stinks in California. Can you imagine living there? I watch it on TV and I'm gonna throw up. I can't imagine living there. Guys, I'm gonna get a few more chats in. Then probably gonna have to call it, right? Probably have to go. Is nothing else calling your name?
maybe.
It is. Right? A little bit. Okay.
Also about the Pennsylvania's mayor, one of them over there.
I've not heard that. What's going on with Pennsylvania's mayor?
He basically told Donald Trump to quit whining and put his big boy pants on.
Oh, I think I did see that. Yeah, I think I did.
Like, who does that?
Yeah, like she's saying. I remember I saw a video on this. It's very brief, but Pennsylvania's mayor is basically telling Trump, "You lost. Take it like a man. Quit whining about it." What are you covering up, buddy?
He said, "Put your big boy pants.
Put your big boy pants on."
That was literally his words. Wow, what a child.
I'm gonna say this too. I know I'm 24 years old. I've not been around for a long time, but has any other president ever just been openly made fun of and like ridiculed like Donald Trump? I don't know if it's where he went from being a celebrity. Excuse me. I don't know if it's where he went from being a celebrity to then being. I don't know if it's like the celebrity status. People still thought it was okay to openly make fun of him. That's the daggum president. Have some respect for the man. If Joe Biden gets elected, as much as it pains me to say this, if he gets elected, I'm still going to respect the guy. I'm going to respect his position as my president. You had these people in 2016. They had the shirts made. They were wearing the T-shirts. And they were chanting, "Not my president. Not my president." And it's like, I hate to say it, but he is your president. If you're a citizen of the United States, he's your president. You can't get out of it. He just is. If Joe Biden is, by the grace of God, he isn't. Lord, have mercy on us. But if he is elected president, he is my president. As bad as it pains me to say that, he is my president. and I have to respect him as such, as my president. In the Bible, it says, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's," which means the people that are put into authority, you're supposed to respect them, respect the position. Doesn't mean I'm going to respect everything he does, but I will respect him as the president. I mean, he's the commander in chief. I mean, it's just the way it's supposed to be, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not going to be happy about it whatsoever. Biden for sure wore an earpiece. Yes, he did wear an earpiece. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. Hang on one second, guys. I've got to make one quick change. Hang on. Why have I got steps in there? Okay. Hang on. I had to do it to him. Rocky Top, baby. Let's beat Arkansas tomorrow. Hopefully Garantano can go 6 for 25 for 100 yards, and maybe we win. If Garantano cannot throw 3 pick sixes and 17 fumbles, we'll not have a chance. No, guys, tomorrow is game day. If we lose tomorrow to Arkansas, I might cry. I'm not going to lie. I really might cry because I cannot afford to have 2 terrible losses in 1 week, 1 being the presidential election and 2 being a loss to Arkansas. I don't think my emotions can even handle it.
Put on your big boy pants.
Thank you, Pennsylvania mayor, you liberal piece of trash. And Cooper. Okay. They moved because Democrats taxed her too high. Good. Read something. I'm sorry. Laura has something in her nose. It's still in there. Hang on a second.
Hey.
What? Hang on. Mercy. Woo. Okay, good. Not a living. What is going on? My nose is clean. They moved because Democrat taxes are too high in California. California's taxes, I'm pretty sure they said it's like going up like 400%. The taxes are. If you make over $400,000, the taxes are going to be like 60% higher, I think. Which I'm not going to get into all the numbers, but that is insane. That's an insane percent of taxes going up. Like I saw something about 50 Cent. He was talking about it. I'm not a huge 50 Cent fan. But he said something that was so hilarious. He said, "Man, these taxes in California don't get so high." He said, "They ain't gonna be able to call me 50 Cent no more. They're gonna call me a dime." I'm just like, that is so true. Even 50 Cent knows what's up. I mean, the taxes are going to be, incredibly ridiculous, which I thought Mike Pence destroyed Kamala Harris in the vice presidential debate. Absolutely destroyed her because she said the way she talks. Oh, it's just right. I don't like these people, but like the smallest thing just aggravate me. She's like, "We're not going to get rid of the tax cuts. We're only going to tax people making over $400,000." And Mike Pence goes, "But Joe Biden said he was taking away all the Trump tax cuts." He said that. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, and he killed her. Probably one of my favorite lines from that debate was Mike Pence says, "Miss Harris, you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts." And I'm just like, Mike Pence is putting her in the grave right now. I was kind of worried going into that debate because I couldn't really remember Mike Pence's debate in 2016. I couldn't really remember it. That's been 4 years ago. I was kind of afraid Mike Pence would have a hard time debating Kamala Harris because she's just so arrogant and she's just so just sassy. But he held his own. Mike Pence did an awesome job in that debate, I thought. Yes, multiple leaders in Pennsylvania are trying to rig it for sure. Look at the litigation before the election to allow mail-in ballots. I think they wanted ballots to be able to come in like 3 weeks after Election Day. It's called Election Day for a reason. It's not called Election Week. It's called Election Day. It's not called Election Month. It's called Election Day. You have 1 day to vote. Not 2, not 3, not 6 weeks. You have 1 day to vote. get your daggum ballot in. It ain't hard to do. I know the virus is going on. I know of people that have struggled with virus. I know people that have died with the virus. But you had 3 weeks to get them in. It shouldn't have been hard to get it there. Put it in the mailbox. Put it on one of them little a carrier pigeon's ankle and send the pigeon to fly to the place and drop it off.
Even dead people even got there.
Even dead people voted. Even dead people. People from the grave voted.
1800.
Maybe it was Lazarus coming back from the grave. Lazarus, come forth and vote for Joe Biden. I don't think so. That's not what happened in the Bible. Lazarus did not come forth and vote for Joe Biden. Nobody did. I saw a guy comment on a video, and he said, my dad has been dead for 4 years. Before he died, he had been a convicted felon for 12. He's got a mail-in ballot every year since then. He's been dead for 4 years. How is he getting a mail-in ballot? I mean, this stuff's been going on for a while. It's just not been magnified to this extent. How does this happen? How do dead people vote? I tell you what, if my grandpa, which probably the best man I have ever known is my grandpa, if he know that they have used his name to vote for the left wing nut jobs, he would come forth and he would have a talk with somebody. I mean, no kidding, he would. But it just amazes me how all these dead people are voting for Joe Biden. I'd say half of them be like, no, I'm not voting for him. Left nut.
I mean, even one of the news reporters on Fox News, she even said that her neighbor got 6 ballots in the mail, and it's only him and his wife. So then he started passing out the rest to make sure everybody else got their ballots.
Yeah, it's just so much. It's impossible to cover. And I've been going an hour and 21 minutes on the live stream. All you around, I think we've kept around 10 to 15 people for the most part in the live stream. You guys are troopers. Thank you guys so much. One of you guys that dropped. The longer I talk, the more tongue-tied my tongue is becoming. For those of you that have dropped a like on the live stream, I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe to the channel. Guys, tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your mamas and daddies to subscribe. Your grandmas and grandpas. Have you dead people to subscribe? If dead people can vote, dead people can subscribe to the channel. Make it happen. I appreciate it so much. I'm going to get the rest of these chats real quick. Also, how do you be a Christian and vote Democrat? I don't know. I mean, did you know? I don't know.
Every man is entitled to his own opinion.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
They have to face Judgment Day. I mean,
yeah, true. Everyone will be judged for what they do. Your sins will find you out. But I don't know how. If you're a Christian, you can say you're a Christian. I don't see how you can. I don't see how you can vote to that side. I really don't, because, and I'm going to say this real quick, the Democratic Party of today is not the Democratic Party of 20 years ago. It's not the Democratic Party of 15 years ago. It's changed so much. And I'm not saying that all Democrats are bad. I'm not in any way, but the Democratic Party does not stand for what it did back in the day. It just doesn't. It's changed. And if you don't keep up with it, you're going to look like an idiot, because you're sitting there supporting this party that's, I mean, just absolutely nuts. So, but yeah, I don't see how you can be a Christian and vote Democrat. Abortion, that in itself, I mean, come on.
there are cases out there, like, I understand where you're scared.
Yeah, it's just
There's always
that's
help, though. There's not that choice.
it's such a touchy topic, guys, and I hate to jump into that, because I understand that stuff happens, that bad stuff happens that we can't control. But that child did nothing to deserve that. That child did nothing to deserve being killed. I'm just going to say it, being killed. And people say, oh, well, it's the woman's body. It's her choice. Her choice. Her body, her choice. It's not her body. It's the child that is growing inside of her. He doesn't have a voice. He can't say, "Buddy, you care to put that knife down? You're about to stab me with? If you don't care, can you just back up?" It doesn't have the ability to say that.
And most people did make a choice before in certain circumstances.
In certain circumstances, that's gosh, I hate to dive into this. I mean, we're an hour and a half deep. And in a lot of the situations, you had a choice. Just because you did some things that you probably shouldn't have, I mean, you're stuck with it, and that's no excuse to take it out on an innocent life. But if you can kill people for being too young, you can kill them for being too old. I mean, I've seen Ben Shapiro debate this so many times, and he is the best debater I've ever seen in my life. Ben Shapiro is awesome about debating. He gets a little filthy mouth every once in a while, but he's a really sharp guy. He said, so killing a baby, if you had a dad and he was in a coma, he had 0% chance of ever coming out of that coma. Is it your call to just go and pull the life support? Or, I mean, is it okay for me to just go there and start stabbing your dad in the chest? I mean, he's unconscious. He's in a coma. He's never going to come out of the coma. Is it okay for me to just go over and start stabbing him in the chest and kill him? I mean, that's the same thing, right? I mean, he said, well, no, he had memories. He had lived a life. So you're going to give this growing person the inability to make any memories, even though this one's already had. It makes absolutely zero sense. I don't see how anyone can support it. If you don't want the child, you can put it for adoption. Someone will take the child. That's not. If you can adopt, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna finish these last two. Lazarus would have voted for Trump. You know, I think knowing how this has went so far, which Donald Trump has made some awesome comments regarding Christian values and Jesus Christ here lately. He really has. I saw at one of his last rallies he had before the election started. One of his rallies, he said, "People told me I was the most famous guy he'd ever met," and I said, I'm trying to figure out how he worded it. He's like, "I told him, I'm not the most famous guy you'll ever meet. Jesus Christ is. That's the one you need to be worried about." And that's awesome to have a president that would actually say that. Think Obama would have said that? Obama wasn't even an American citizen. Sorry, not sorry. Obama wasn't even from this country. Barack Hussein Obama. Okay. And the last one right here, rounding on up. My voice is hurting. I don't see how people talk all day on like radio and stuff. I can never do it. Last comment coming in. Go subscribe to A Little Southern Brothers. That is being said. That is my brother's channel. My two younger brothers. They do just little old country boy stuff. My two brothers, they still help my dad log. About 2 years ago, going on 3, I stopped logging with my dad. Had to go get some insurance and a 401k. So I'm no longer working with them, but they've been making some videos logging and farming and just catching fish and cooking them and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, my little brothers have a YouTube channel. Let me see if I can real quick. Let's see if I can pull up the 1 second, guys. I don't know if you guys even still see me or not.
But you need to also say that, that's your personal opinion on everything that you've said today.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can still see me or not. I really don't know if you guys can still see me. But I'm trying to find the link to my little brother's channel right here. I'm going to show them some love, even though they stole my name. I'm still waiting for royalties, guys, from you guys stealing my my name there. Okay, guys. If you guys can see in the chat, I think that is the link to their channel. I do believe. Don't quote me on it. Someone can try it and they can check and see. But guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel, with that being said, go subscribe to my channel, A Little Southern Humor. I'd really appreciate it, guys. I'm pushing for 1,000 subscribers. I want it so bad. YouTube, I've heard from a lot of people that do YouTube, that are YouTubers. They say 1,000 subscribers is the hardest milestone you will surpass. I'm not saying it gets a whole lot easier, but if you can get 1,000 subscribers, they get easier to get once you hit 1,000 because YouTube starts pushing your content more, which I want to work on my content. I don't think my videos are as entertaining as I want them to be right now, and I really want to work on that and try harder because I love making videos. They're so much fun to do. I love editing and just trying to make something. It's just fun to me. It's that Mountain Dew is making me belch bad.
Maybe because it's your third one.
1, 2. Yeah, it is my third one. We're 3 dews in. Cheers once again, guys, as we close this live stream down. But guys, once again, thanks for everyone that stayed through the whole thing. Well, that's awesome, guys. I love having these. Let me know. Comment. Should I do a live stream once a week? Or maybe once every 2 weeks? That'd be awesome.
Maybe you could do a live stream tomorrow with Billy. Tell him to comment down below.
Guys, if you want me to have Billy on tomorrow and get Billy's input on the election, I know everyone wants to hear Billy's input on the election. Billy came in today and he came into work and he said, did you say that recount they're doing? They're doing a recount in Wisconsin, I think. I think they might win Wisconsin. They're recounting it. Got him good, didn't he? I'm like, Bill, I don't know if it's just the recounts going to win the election, but we can hope. We can hope. We're shooting for the moon, Bill. Guys, me and Billy has been friends for gosh, I can't remember a time that me and Billy was best friends. I mean, that's how long it's been. But guys, you guys will probably wonder why he's not been in the videos as much here lately. He's been busy. He's not really had time to make videos as much as we used to be. And I think he just kind of lost the luster to make them, which that's totally fine. I told him whenever you want to be in a video, you can come be in one. That's totally fine. It's just whatever he wants to do. But tomorrow I might have Billy on the live stream. Might do a Q&A. Who knows? So guys, tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dead ancestors. Might do a Q&A tomorrow on the live stream. So if you guys want that, comment, let us know, like, share, all that good stuff. Guys, real quick, the video I posted today on my channel, it kind of blew up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. It kind of blowed up. I'm gonna go back and see how many views I've got right now. It's the one about the watermark ballots. I posted it 12 hours ago. It's got 4,168 views. So guys, go over there and watch that video, like it, all that good stuff. I want to make YouTube videos for a living. That would be so cool to be able to make videos for a living. That would be so cool. And even if I did that, I'd probably still work, have a job. But it'd just be so cool to make videos where it supported you. That'd be so awesome. But anyway, guys, we're going to do this video, this live stream. Once again, thank you guys for being here. Before I close, if you've not accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, I urge you to do so. It'll be the best decision you've ever made in your entire life. You will not regret it one day in your life. The best day you ever have. I almost said that backwards. The worst day you ever have as a non-believer will. Am I still messing this up? Am I messing this up right now? The worst day you have as a Christian will still be better than your best day as a non-believer. Okay, I think that made sense. If it didn't, in fact, oh my gosh, I'm messing this up. What I'm trying to say is, guys, being a Christian, it will make your life 10 times better. You'll have peace that passes all understanding. It's just the best thing you'll ever do. I'm going to close with that. Guys, remember, life is too short, so you might as well laugh today. And, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for being here. And, yeah, kudos. Adios, amigos.